All right, here we're going to take some derivatives using our product rule. So we see the product here. So we're going to find an expression first for h prime, and then we'll plug in x equals 0 and x equal 1. So let's use our product rule. So product rule is first d second plus second d first. All right, so now let's go find h prime of 0. So that means everywhere there's an x, I'm going to be plugging in a 0. I'll just put that in for effect there on the e's. So you know e to the 0 is 1. So f prime of 0 gives me 5, plus f of 0 gives me negative 4, so that gives me a 1. Now let's go find h prime of 1, so that means plugging in x equal 1, so I get e to the 1 power, f prime of 1, f of 1, e to the 1 power. So that's e, which is just a number. F prime of 1 gives me 2. F of 1 is giving me 3e. So let me just rewrite this. So I have 2e plus 3e, so that's 5e. Do not use a calculator to figure out the decimal answer for that. That's how I want to leave it. All right, so here I see I want to use quotient rule. So let's go take the derivative. So derivative is low d high minus high d low, square the bottom and off you go. So let me just write it so you can see it. So that's x cubed squared. So now let's go find h prime of 2. So that means everywhere there's an x, I'm going to be plugging in a 2. So x equal 2. So that means this is going to give me 8. And I'll have times f prime of 2 minus f of 2. And then I'll have 3 times 4, so it'll give me a 12. And then this gives me x to the 6th power, so that's 2 to the 6th. So I have 8 times, so now I'm going to plug in this, which is 6. F of 2 is negative 1 times the 12. This gives me 64, so I get 48 plus 12 over 64. So that's 60 over 64. I'm sure that could simplify more, but I'm just going to leave it. All right, so let's look at one more where I've got a root x times an f of x. So let's go find the derivative first. So first d second plus second d first. So you know that's x to the 1/2. So taking the derivative, I get x to the negative 1/2. So let's go find h prime of 4. So again, that means plug in x equal 4 everywhere. I'm just going to go slow. So I'm going to rewrite this and put this x to the negative 1/2 in the denominator and put the 4 in. So this gives me 2 times a 5 plus, oops, I meant to put a 4 in there, didn't I? Okay. And then f of 4 gives me a negative 4, and this gives me 1/4. So I get 10 minus 1, so that just gives me a 9. Oh, and I'm supposed to find h prime of 9 also. So h prime of 9, root 9, f prime of 9, plus f of 9, 1/2, 1 over the square root of 9. So that's 3 times 7, plus f of 9 is negative 3, and this will give me a 1/6, so I'll get 21 minus a 1/2, and I'm just going to leave it. All right, here we go. This one, ooh, this is saying find the second derivative. All right, let's find the first derivative. So first d second plus second d first. And now to take the second derivative, I have 2 sets of product rules. So let's go do it. So first d second plus second d first. Okay, let me just use a little color coding. So the derivative of that is these 2 terms. All right, so now let's move on to this. To take the derivative of this is going to give me, oops, I meant to change colors. Derivative of this is going to give me 2 terms as well. So first d second plus second d first. All right, so now to find h prime, double prime, oops, of 1 means put in x equal 1 everywhere. Oops, it's supposed to be a double prime of 1 plus f prime of 1 e f of 1 e, f prime of 1. Okay, let's use our information. So this gives me f double prime of 1 is negative 4 plus f prime of 1 is a 3 and f of 1 is a negative 2 and f prime of 1 is a 3. So e times 3. So I have negative 4e plus 3e minus 2e plus 3e. Oh goodness, it turns out to be 0. Yep.